This is Smithy.tv. This is Smithy.tv.
We're live right now.
We're not
live.
And this is
We
a
are
short
live.
version. Just good. All right, we will find that. We will
look at your
find.
screensaver.
Right? I'm a freak.
You're awesome.
All right, so welcome
Right.
to the abridged version of the Mind Reels. I'm still Tim. With me, as always, is the amazing Sue, who's all set for Star Wars. I'm all set for Star Wars. Also all set for Star Wars is the amazing, I said it, Robin Dunne.
I am all set for Star Wars.
All fet? All fet?
And also, we're all officially amazing because we did partake in a
We
Guinness
did,
World Record
officially.
that was
Yes, we did.
successful,
Yes.
and now we are Guinness World Record.
We are like
what was
famous
the,
and
what was
shit.
the final?
48 hours.
48 hours. Wow.
Take that, internet.
Was so the people who were like you're talking to like at hour 45.
That would have
Were
been
you
like.
We
talking
got
to yourself?
very lucky.
Were they actually there, or were you hallucinating?
No, they were there. There's
They were
video
there,
evidence.
okay.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, Sue made sure to kind of stack it with people we knew
Yeah,
on our second
I wanted
day.
mostly people we knew
Yeah.
on Sunday overall, just because I knew people were gonna.
See us
I
at
don't
our
know. It was
worst.
great that everybody was so nice because we were not okay by the end of that. But
Yeah, I was done.
I was trying to bring in as many friends as I could, and then we had Steve Lund to finish us off.
Yeah.
And what we didn't really realize was we had Natalie Krill come
Oh.
in with Rainbow Sun Franks because both of them were on the listener. We already knew Natalie. We met Rainbow briefly, I
Yeah.
guess, on set. And then, so we were like, let's bring them in together. It's more fun to have more people.
Yeah.
And by then, they can just, like, take over and we can watch and laugh.
Yeah, right.
But it turned out that Natalie also knew
Autopilot.
Steve Lund, so he
Yeah.
just came in and joined them. And we had, like, all three of them.
And then Rick Howland
And Rick
came
Howland
back
had come
in,
back,
yeah.
so he joined for a little while, and we just had like a party for the last
Yeah, it was
hour and a half or so.
and booze and stuff.
Yeah, we were drinking by then.
Yeah,
It was just
'cause
ridiculous.
You don't
We
want
had
to
a
start
dance party.
drinking like.
No.
You don't want to start drinking like 18 hours because
We said we'd celebrate when we broke the
Which we did.
existing record, which we did. We all had a beer,
Yeah.
but then I was like, we still have to go another
Yeah,
7
another
hours
year.
or whatever.
Oh my
on beer and
God,
no sleep.
7 hours, yeah. And he started
But everybody
getting
was
sleepy.
really like, everybody brought a new energy
Yeah.
every.
And that's
20
what
minutes
that's
or
what
whatever
kept me
it
going.
Yeah.
Was just that energy that somebody you knew coming in brought.
And
Like,
then-
oh, I can just suck
People
that
were
in.
bringing us stuff. Anthony Lemke jumped on. He was shooting something in Sudbury, I think,
Yeah.
and he jumped on a plane and showed up like at 2 PM or whatever
That's awesome.
It was-
for
it
a
was
couple
so
minutes.
cool.
He brought fudge,
Right?
presents, and things. So everybody.
Who had the record before? Like what?
It was.
What was that lady?
First, when we asked to break it, when we got permission, there was a woman in the States that's had it since 2012, I think, at 36 hours. And she put on this, like, she's a businesswoman, and she put on, like, basically, like, a year's worth of business school into 36 hours.
Oh, that's kinda
So she
cool.
had
Which is-
people
yeah, that's
doing, like,
cool.
hour-long seminars or whatever, and then, and it was all online now, so people can still, like, get stuff
Yeah.
from it. But she had all these big names in the industry and stuff, so that was really cool. And I respected that. And then these guys in the States, over a con weekend, did an audio record attempt where they were, like, interviewing. They were basically talking for 41 hours.
To themselves.
They were, talking amongst themselves. They were interviewing people in costume, but it was an audio
Some
recording.
people need to get
I
a
hope
hobby.
they're not
They should
listening.
Go get a hobby. Like,
Yeah.
just take up
They
chess.
had, like, action figures, and they'd interview action figures and stuff, and I'm like, man, I had, like, a schedule that I tried to keep, and I had,
Yep.
like, guests changing and stuff. We weren't taking a nap in the corner and everything, so, but they got it, but I'd done research, and I knew that they were attempting it, so I made sure that ours was going to beat theirs regardless of whether they got it
Oh, yeah.
approved or not.
Oh yeah.
And then some kids
Tried.
in the States also got it.
After you guys had done it.
No, they did it after we'd done it, but we hadn't been verified yet, so they didn't know we went 48 hours, and they were still trying to beat the 41 hours, which
So
they
when
did
you
too.
when you want to break a record, you have to call Guinness. And
Yeah.
Say,
You have to
you wanna
apply
do-
Yeah.
to get permission to break the record, and then they'll tell you like what all their guidelines are and stuff, and what the
Wow.
official record is. And then right before you do it, you have to make sure that the official record is still the official record because they don't update it online necessarily right away. And
I wonder what the
British.
Guinness record is for drinking Guinness. I would break. I
I
think
don't know.
we
We
can
could probably look
we
that
can
up.
go with
I'm
that.
sure there is
Let's
one.
do that. I can totally do that. Let's do that. Let's
Yeah.
do that. But I mean, let's talk about what you've got going on, because if you haven't watched or listened to the long one,
Yeah,
you've got stuff coming up, and
stuff coming up,
the more I hear about Archie, the more I want to see it already.
Archie is I'm so proud of that movie. We all are. It's interesting. I wrote this movie about a girl who finds a stray dog, and he can do all these amazing things. He's got X-ray vision, and he can move at super speed, and she finds he can talk, and you find out that he's a robot. He's like built by the military as a soldier basically, and then he escaped, and now he moves to this. He winds up in this small town, and this girl finds him, and they become friends. And so it's obviously a family movie. Kids are going to watch it. Kids are going to love it. But what I really wanted to make sure to do is not obviously, like there's the fart jokes, and there's all the kind of stuff that the kids are going to love.
Mm-hmm.
But I also wanted to make a movie that parents could sit down and really like too, and make a movie that's really grounded and something that everybody can enjoy. I really admire when people are able to do that. Pixar movies come to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm comparing myself to Pixar, but those movies that it has something for everyone. I think The Simpsons is like that too, where there's jokes for the kids get certain jokes, the adults get other jokes. So
even Flintstones got a lot funnier to me as an
Totally,
adult.
the Flintstones,
I was like, I
exactly,
didn't get any of those
Yeah.
jokes.
Yeah, but when you're a kid, you got a whole bunch.
Yeah, it was more the
Yeah.
physical stuff. Well,
So-
cartoon physical.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and that's why I wanted to make it really really grounded and not just not make a quote talking dog movie end
Mm-hmm.
quote. Make a movie that yes, there's a dog in it that who talks, but
And
he
sounds an awful lot like
and
Michael J. Fox.
we got Michael J. Fox, which was unbelievable. It's just his voice is so fitting of that dog. It's perfect, but. That's just one character in the movie, as opposed to like just being central around this dog.
Right.
And so I think I'm really proud of it. I think the acting in it is really phenomenal. The two leads, Sarah Desjardins and John Whitesell, they're amazing in it. They carry the movie. I did kind of. This is funny. I dated myself, not in that way.
Right.
In the
There's nothing wrong with that.
I have dated myself.
I'm dating myself right now.
Sometimes you have to. But they were doing this really lovely scene. They go on a date to the park to watch a movie in the park, and so it's lovely. We have the lights and we have the screen up in the park, and it's really quite nice. And actually, the movie that they're watching in the park is Space Milkshake, which is a movie that I was in, and we're trying to figure out what movie should we put in. And we're like, well, of course, let's put Space Milkshake in there, a little cookie for the sci-fi fans. But so I'm behind the monitor, and they're sitting on the blanket together, and the dogs are there, and it's really kind of nice, right? And I was like, oh, you know what? It looks like Dawson's Creek over there.
And they're like, what?
Crickets, and I was like, oh my god.
How quickly they forget.
Yeah. Like, yeah, and they're like, we kind of know. It was like some show, like some old show. I was like,
I was on that.
oh my god, it's over.
Is that on a retro channel? Something?
Totally, exactly, right? You just like, oh, okay, god, that happened. But no, it was fantastic experience doing that movie.
Did you find because you wrote the script, did you find when you were shooting it that you made very many changes, or did it pretty much go as because it was really your first time like directing outside of doing Sanctuary and stuff?
Yeah, I did make changes. Obviously, your locations change.
Yeah.
So, like just for giving the example of the movie in the park, in the script, it's a drive-in, but we didn't really find anything that we really liked for a drive-in, and we went to this park. And we're like, hey, so that you make those changes.
Yeah.
And also, I really, script is number one. It's so important, and I know it's common knowledge. Everybody knows that, but it's really I really learned it again on this movie. Like you got to make sure everything in the script. So me and my producer Shane Putzlocker, we really went like everything. It was like militant about the script. Okay, anything in here that doesn't make sense, anything in here that is confusing or anything you don't like, we really hammered that script out to make sure every little thing made sense. Right. So. And as we were going, we kept making those changes. Like Fred Iwaniuk, who from Corner Gas, right? He came in and he plays one of the bad guys in the movie. And,
I can totally see that
Amazing
now.
bad guy.
and he was amazing. He was fantastic. And so you start looking at that character, and then you have a guy like Fred who's so good, and you're like, well, we gotta make sure, like, let's make sure we flesh that character out
Yeah.
as much as possible
Yeah.
to give him as much as he can do, and then he brings stuff to it, and it's fantastic. The other changes that I made were, I said to our casting director Brendan McCormick, I said, look, a lot of these characters in the movie, it's like some of them are written as like a 6-year-old woman or a man or whatever, but I said
A 6-year-old woman,
60.
really?
60-year-old woman. A 6-year-old woman. I write those 6-year-old women
Really well, yeah.
I really can get in the voice of it. Never mind. But I said to Brendan, I said, if you know an actor who's fantastic that we need to see, bring them in for that character, and then we can make the change. And it actually happened a few times in the movie. And there's an actor, lovely, wonderful, funny actor, Sheldon Bergstrom, who came in, and so this character is June. She like kind of works at the diner, gum chewing, kind of 60-year-old woman. But then Sheldon came in, and I was like, oh my god! And I just went back and I just rewrote it. And I was like, okay, it's going to be you now. Like, so those kind of things.
That's
and
cool.
those, and I think if you're flexible for those things, and you're open to that those kind of changes, a lot of great things can happen. And also, your limitations sometimes can be your best friend, because okay, we can't do a drive-in. There's no really, it doesn't really look good. And then you find a park and you're like, oh my god. And even though that's a limitation that you're making a change, it's actually better.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're able to do that, it's fantastic. You know, just to look at all those challenges as opportunities, as opposed to like, oh well, this fuck.
Movie's over.
Ruined.
Going home,
I
man.
can get what I wanted. You know?
Now, how do you direct? You know, because we are closing in on the limit. We are. It's wow. We're just going all. But I want to ask how you balance. We are wow. How you balance the writing and the directing and the acting. I mean, do you find you slide more towards writing towards actors? How do you direct versus how do you act? I mean, that's like you're wearing so many hats.
Yeah, you know, it seemed like that at first, but it didn't really. I did, because I mean, I've been an actor for so long. I know it's a very I know it inside out. I know how to do it. I'm very comfortable doing that. Whether other people are comfortable with me doing that, but so directing myself, because as an actor, you know. Regardless of the director, you know if you got it or you didn't. Right?
Yeah.
So for me, it was just I just said my lines and kind of just tried to be off camera as much as possible. I didn't put myself too much in the movie. And then with the other actors, I mean, I just was lucky, very lucky to hire amazing actors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Katie Isabel is in the movie.
Who doesn't like Katie Isabel?
Right.
Who doesn't like Katie Isabel?
I've crushed on her for a while.
And then I just stayed out of their way. I just said let these the key to directing, I think, is hire great actors and stay out of their way.
Yep.
One quick funny story about Katie. First of all, actually two. So we're sitting around, Shane and I and a bunch of people. We're having dinner after one day of the shoot, and we're like, we're brainstorming. Who do we get for the voice? Like, who's gonna be Archie's voice? We gotta cast somebody great. And then Katie, who's just like sitting across the table and she's eating their dinner, she's like, you guys should get Michael J. Fox.
Just like randomly.
That was
pulls it
her
out.
idea, and we're like, me and Shane were like, oh my god, that's an amazing idea. And like a week later, he was the guy. I mean, we give full credit to Katie for having that idea.
No.
And then the other funny thing is, so Katie and I have worked together many times, and she's a great friend. So I called her. I said, look, I'm doing this movie. I want to send you a script. She's like, yeah, sure. Send it to me. So she sent her the script, and then she texted me back like a couple hours later, and she's like, well, I cried when the stupid dog died at the end. That's
Spoiler.
I cried when the stupid dog died at the end, so I guess I have to do the movie now. And then she said she called her mom, and she's like, Mom, guess how many times I get like brutally murdered in this movie? Because Katie does all the horror movies, right? And her mom's like, oh God, how many times? She's like, none. I don't die. I was like, oh great, So yeah, that's fun.
That's awesome.
Can you believe it?
That's so great. And so you're looking at April for this
April
one.
release.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is it theatrical? Is it television? What are we
It'll
doing?
be VOD. It'll be.
Oh, sweet.
It'll
Okay,
be everywhere.
cool.
It'll be every outlet that you can imagine. It'll be on.
Okay, because you had me on Michael J. Fox. You won me over when you said Katie Isabel.
Katie,
But so is there an official
You had
site?
me at
Is
dog.
there a Twitter feed for it yet? Or
There's Twitter at Archie Movie. There's what's the photo one? Instagram.
Ah.
Instagram.
Alright.
It's on the Instagram.
It's on the Instagram.
It's on the interweb.
Yes, the cortex is what we like to call it. I want to know then, to wrap it up,
Yeah.
what does Archie stand for?
I was just thinking that
'Cause
because
it's an acronym,
spelled as an
so-
acronym.
Artificial Robotronic Hyper Intelligence Experiment. Artificial.
No, because there's a C in there. Artificial robotronic.
Canine.
Canine,
Artificial-
okay.
Artificial
And he's a Jack
Robotronic
Russell, so the hyper
Canine
totally
Hyper
works.
Intelligence Experiment.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm sold.
Poor Katie had to say that a bunch of times. She's like,
Oh, she's smart
I
at
hate
it too,
you.
is she?
Artificial Robotronic.
I'll be in my trailer.
Yeah.
Rob, that is awesome. Thank you for
Hey,
coming in.
love
This
you
is
guys.
so
Thanks
much
for
fun.
Thanks for having me.
And I totally want to get you back in because I want to rave and chat Sanctuary at some point.
Yes.
And I want to
Yeah.
I want to, like, 'cause, dude, you've done so
We
much.
should see
You
if we can
barely
get
scratched the
Katie to
surface.
come in with you. Maybe
Oh,
she
that'd be
would
great.
feel
That would be great.
comfortable with you. Oh man, he's cute. Is that the actual
Yeah,
dog?
that's
It's
That's
cute,
his
guys.
name is Cosmo.
Hey, the Adventure Club movie.
The
Robin Dunne.
George Clooney of dogs, I call him.
He's pretty awesome looking. That is great. All right, and for those of you watching on YouTube, of course, thank you for watching.
You're the best.
Make sure you follow us and all that swell stuff. Yeah, and stay tuned because 2016 we're hoping is going to be a big year.
Yeah.
And we'll chase down some interviews very quickly. I'm not going to mention any names. Let's just say there's possibility of some Canadian legends and icons in there, maybe. Fingers crossed. And not that Robin Dunne is not.
Yeah. as
Either
opposed
or.
to-
I am neither, but thank you for having me.
I'm just saying. I thought you were. Now I'm just. What were you telling me?
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
This is a one-track mind away.
Star Wars.
Dog.
That's awesome, dude. Because I barely remember you on 48 Hours, and all I remember is Wilson, and that's all I remember. Just Wilson. That's all I remember. And I'm like, oh,
Because that one balloon finally came
yeah.
down.
because she was like, it's that guy. I'm like, oh, he's gonna have a great time. Then bring him in. Because that's literally all I remembered from that.
Blurry.
I'm sure I was very funny and charming, but.
Yeah.
As
Wow.
always. As
But, dude, thank you so much. This
Thank
was
you.
amazing.
so much fun. So much
Right?
fun. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you for watching. And we'll see you in 2016. Of course, you're probably watching this in 2016.
Yeah.
Temporal anomalies just mess with my head. But
By
thank
By
you.
then you'll know whether or not I like Star Wars. I'm excited for you guys.
Right? Oh, that was so
Excited
much
for
fun.
future me.